Drew and Stu are on the air.
Ready?
Whether you're fading with Drew or riding with Cam, this is the place to get your weekly NFL picks.
Everything you got, let's go.
Hello and welcome back to the Drew and Stu podcast. I'm Drew Livingstone. That's Cam Stewart. Cam, Super Bowl 59, probably your most successful Super Bowl in years. Not so much me because, well, then again, I did have the Eagles alt spread minus 9.5. That worked out. But I had the Chiefs money line because I said if the Chiefs win, it's by less. If the Eagles win, it's by a lot. You said that, but you were all in on Philly. Cam, explain how it felt watching that game finally go right for you.
I don't even know what to say, Drew. Great. By the way, nice to see you. It's been a while. I feel like we've been on excursions. We're both dealing with some stuff. But hey, amazing Super Bowl. Drew, is one of those situations where I don't get it very often, but I had a good feeling from the moment. Like from the moment, the day, the kickoff, even when the Eagles screwed up with that pass interference call, I go on Twitter, here we go. They got a makeup call. And they score that first touchdown. I go up to my girlfriend. She comes. I go, the Eagles are up 7-0. She goes, oh. I go, honey, I think Philadelphia's going to murder them. She's like, what? I go, no, I don't think they're just going to win. Like, I had that feeling. The only time I ever had that feeling, Drew, was in that Seattle-Denver game, and I had the exact same feeling. I go, this game's not going to be close. There was a crazy halftime. Like, the whole day, to me, was like a movie. It didn't seem real. I've never seen Mahomes run around like a guy, like a chicken with his head cut off.
It looked like the Tampa Super Bowl.
Yes, and what is the MO now? What do we know? You box him inside, right? You take away the lane. You come in on angles.
You beat Mahomes with pass rush.
Yes, Drew.
I mean, to be fair, the Buffalo Bills tried that for them when they signed Von Miller for $20 million. No, I know that's what they were hoping for when they signed Von Miller for $20 million. It just hasn't worked out.
Okay, quickly. What about Garrett? What do you do to? You guys got to get it. You guys got to get.
I think the Bills are going to go after Max Crosby more than Garrett.
I like Max Crosby.
But I think that'll be the trade they go for. I don't know if they get him, but that's besides the point. Cam Mahomes played terrible, and then at the end of the day, I'm seeing all these shows on TV. They're like, "Oh, well, he still had 3 touchdowns and blah blah blah." I'm like, "Yeah, in fucking garbage time against the reserves."
That's a shit
take. Oh, did you see that throw, the 70-yard touchdown to Worthy? Yeah, against the backups. Like, let's get over it. He played like shit.
Honestly, if you say that shit, you shouldn't even have a job in sports. That's the dumbest fucking take I've ever had. By the way, those Eagles guys that they picked up, like DeJean, his arm, like not only does he return kicks, the guy's hands are immaculate.
His first pick.
The guy's catching balls like Steve Large in the old days, Drew. Like he's down, the ball doesn't even move. Like every time it's a controversial play, that guy's got the best hands. Like he should have been a fucking receiver. Like that was beautiful. Like all the Eagles guys do is make plays and make big plays. Barkley didn't run the ball. I told you. I go, oh, Drew, you I don't even know what to tell you. I was on the ground like the whole Super Bowl. My girlfriend's looking at me. I'm back swimming I got like a shag rug. I'm like doing the backstroke in the rug. When Smith had that touchdown, I had anytime touchdown over on that one play. I'm like, here we go. At the end of the day, I looked at my account and I'm like, oh God, I hit the W button instead of the D button. Withdraw. Then I get a call from the guy at the bar. Because of that cheesy late touchdown, you won $550 in squares, and like
amazing
on the low board too. And I'm like, oh my God, I won again. And the guy told me I was very close to winning like the grand prize too. So I would have won both, but I'm happy with anything. And I got to tell you, Drew, this Philadelphia Eagles team, it's interesting.
Ken, we said it before the game. We're like, they're the best team in the league on paper outside of the quarterback position. As long as Hurts doesn't make mistakes, they win.
I think the Bills still would have lost to Philadelphia. I don't think it would have
been. Well,
it
would have been closer than that.
It would. Yes, that's. Exactly, Drew.
The issue is Mahomes or the Bills O-line's way better than the Chiefs O-line.
I agree.
And Allen's better at escaping and making plays on the move than Mahomes is.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The Chiefs are drafting the best offensive line player tackle on the board, guaranteed in the first round.
You think?
Like every mock, like they might even move up. If there's like a special player, like they'll move up.
They need tackles. They need both the right and left tackle very badly.
Well, that's not easier said than done to get 2 good tackles. Buddy, some teams don't have 1 good tackle, let alone 2.
And then how about Travis Kelce, Cam, mailing it in on all these plays? There's like video
footage
of now just standing still.
The fans are like booing Taylor Swift. I'm like, what kind of ulterior universe are we in this like world? Like everything was like, what? Like, why is this happening? Is this real? Philadelphia's killing them. I'm like, my girl's like, don't get too excited. I go, honey, I'm going to tell you this, and Drew will tell you. I don't care if we have whatever. In the third quarter, I'm like, it would take a bloody miracle from God or an electricity. You know what I was thinking, Drew? Things were going so well. I thought it was going to be the
power outage,
the Baltimore San Francisco power outage. Somebody on the Chiefs. hit the lights. And next thing they come back, bam, bam, bam. They got a new game plan. I'm like, please, no power outages. But man, I can say this from a financial standpoint. Everyone's like, oh, it was a shit game. No, I don't. See, I totally disagree. I'm not even talking about like because the Chiefs have burned me so many times. I like to see a team step up to the big dog and kill and beat the big dog.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
will say it wasn't a good game in terms of like back and forth and like, okay, like the game was over at half.
The halftime show was even fucking nuts. It was so political. You got Samuel Jackson, his uncle Sam. He's basically saying "fuck this" and "fuck that," where this country's like in big trouble, and people are like, "Hey," like it was just so different. Like, have you ever imagined a Super Bowl? Was it like, what was your opinion? Because I'm older. I just want to know what the younger generation. Like, you're not totally young. Like, you're not young, but you're younger than me. But you guys must have even been going like. It was just so.
I mean, I personally did not like the halftime show, but I'm not a music guy. I was watching. I was like, nah, this is shit to me. That's what I was saying to my buddies.
You got to respect that guy though. When you're walking and talking and rhyming, you know how much cardio that takes. Like, that's another thing people don't understand. Like, I do karaoke, and when I was like in good shape and younger and playing hockey, you do like 4 songs in a row. You can't even like breathe. This guy's walking around doing this and that. You have to respect the artist for having cardio, and he's not a young man. The guy's like. I'm not saying he's like my age, but the guy's still like getting up there. He's no kid.
All I know is, Cam, I would have hit a 500-1 parlay if Devonta Smith had a second touchdown.
Are you
and at the end of the game, I'm like, come on, get a second touchdown. Because I had Worthy 2 TDs, Smith 2 TDs, and A.J. Brown 1 touchdown. It was the 5 together.
Well, Drew, I got to tell you something. The Livingstone ladder with Philadelphia really worked for this guy. I'm on top of the skyscraper. 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 5.5, 6.5, 9.5, 13. I stopped at 13.5. I'm like, no, let's not. I should have done the 19.5.
Cam, one of the only Taylor Swift prop that hit was the Eagles to lead by 21 at half, and it was 100-1. And I was like, why didn't I put some sprinkle?
I didn't even think about that one because I thought they were going to like win.
Well, 21 at half, Cam. That's crazy. It's just like
you're so right though. Just the bottom line is this: they've had 2 bad Super Bowls, and when the Chiefs get beat down, it's very simple process. The defensive backfield guys are zoned in on players because Mahomes can't set. He can't do anything. He can't find anybody because they literally have 4 killers coming after him. I told you about Carter.
They didn't blitz a single play either. That's what's crazy.
I know. But the thing is, that's smart because he knows if they blitz, there's going to be somebody. They actually had a perfect game
that's how good their pass rush is.
Yes.
It's insane.
Yes. Oh, man. I got to tell you, Drew, like, you know, I've taken a lot of flack and whatever, and I've been fair. I didn't even go on Twitter and say, hey, see ya. That's the whole thing. You're coming at me, and I don't even I have a list like Billy Madison of like 150 people that have done like crazy shit to me. I didn't even tweet one of them because you want to know why? I like good karma. I like winning. And you know what? That Super Bowl kicked ass. I got the money out, and now me and my girlfriend have enough money to go on a cruise.
The headline of the season, Cam, for the Drew and Stu podcast, Cam takes down the Swifties. That's the final game of the season.
Even the Swifties are turning on. Like, there's a lot of things going on.
I saw they turned on Jason Kelce because their podcast congratulated the Eagles on their win because it's Jason Kelce's former team, and the Swifties went after
you. Don't mess. Hey, I learned my lesson. I'm happy in my own lane. Philadelphia wins. I got money for a cruise. I'm turning 50. Great Super Bowl, Drew. I'm glad you hit some props. At 500-1, I had a couple too, Drew, that were sitting there like an extra 4 or 5 dimes too, that were like literally yards away. It could have been like lottery magical, but you take what you can get when you win a lot.
Yeah,
it was good.
I will say I got the Bond under tackles, the Worthy over, Mahomes over. It was a lot of good stuff.
Very good.
The only one that didn't hit, I would have hit a bigger probably too, is Mahomes rushing, but whatever.
I actually didn't like Mahomes. Oh yeah. By the way, this is to all you computer guys and stuff too. I'm not taking names. I told you. That Philadelphia sacks bet that I got mocked at could have been the best bet ever. How many sacks did they have?
It wasn't even close.
Like, did the Chiefs have a sack?
It was
on
5.
Hurts?
I think it was 5-1.
5. If you really counted it properly, it felt more like 13. He was down every play,
yeah.
But he a couple of them were 1 yard and 2 yards. Dude, that guy could have been sacked like 15 times that game. He got murdered.
I agree. All right, Cam, let's move on to the NFL offseason. So we got some news before we get into this. We're going to do NFL offseason stuff, questions for Cam, then we're going to get into the USA, Canada, and some golf picks.
Cool.
First one, Daniel Jones believed to be pursued by the Colts this offseason. What do you think about that? Can he supplant Anthony Richardson as their starter?
Yes. And here's the thing. I've been wrong. And this is the whole thing about being on the show is when you talk and we make predictions every day, some are going to be bad. I thought Daniel Jones is going to be a lot better with the Giants, but I also think it's their offensive line and system. The one thing the Colts have is a couple decent offensive linemen. They're getting long at the tooth. But I'll tell you one thing about Daniel Jones. if you give him time, he's young. First of all, Joe Flacco can't move. I get it. Is Joe Flacco a better passer and a bit under pressure because he's a veteran? Yes. But Jones, better accurate passer, way better runner. And Richardson's problem is he can't throw the ball.
He's not accurate. Yeah.
I would rather take you know what? I think that's a great fit for Indianapolis. And I like Richardson. He's still young. Maybe he can figure it out. But one thing about Daniel Jones, and if I'm the Indianapolis staff and he goes there, Drew, what do you tell him? You take off like the friggin' horse that you are. He's like Josh Allen. He used to run up the field and like
his issue, guys. Cam, is he became scared to take shots. He became scared to take shots to his receivers because he didn't want to make the mistake. And once you become gun shy, it's over for you in the NFL.
I agree.
I think being in a dome helps him a lot too.
It's a great call.
I think he could be okay in that offense. I'm not going to lie.
I actually think it's let's call it out for what it is. Is Daniel Jones going to be great? I'll tell you, I look at a lot of quarterbacks in the league and go, they suck too. So you know what? You might as well and Daniel Jones never really had, since his inception, a team to work with because the Giants have always had a bottom tier offensive line and it ruined his confidence. That's the whole thing about life. It's confidence too. Like when you're rattled and beat down and stuff, it's going to get worse. Like you got to just put this guy in a situation. If he can succeed, maybe we can see some positives. That's all I'm going to say.
I agree with that, Cam. Sam Darnold may not actually go back to the Vikings. They're saying they're in no rush to franchise tag him, and they're looking to look at the trade market.
He can't go back.
With JJ McCarthy not ready, I feel like if they should tag him if they don't get who they want. But then this segues in the other rumor Adam Schefter presented yesterday. The Rams may sign Aaron Rodgers as a free agent and trade Matthew Stafford if they can't agree to a terms contract with Matthew Stafford because he wants too much money apparently. I mean, could you see Stafford going to the Vikings, Rodgers to LA, and then Sam Darnold being the guy left out? Like maybe where would he end up?
It's not as stupid as it sounds. Because Aaron Rodgers, I think he should go to a cave and do mushrooms and whatever. And no ill will to him. Like you've found this other beautiful part of your life. This is not even a rip. I'm saying, dude, you got so many other things going on in your life now. And I watch you play football, and it hurts for me to watch you. And
he wasn't that bad, but he wasn't great either.
He played hurt a lot. Like he got murdered, and he's still coming. Yeah. I'll give Aaron Rodgers credit. His pain threshold, he really tried to give it. But it's a young man's game. He can't move anymore. It's a problem, and he's going to get.
killed. Stafford can't move really either.
But the difference is, this is why it makes sense, Drew, and you're a smart guy. Rams, what do they have?
Weapons.
A great defense, a great young defense. And through the draft, if they can tighten up their offensive line, Aaron Rodgers could be in a situation where he doesn't have to do too much with a defense like that.
Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua?
It actually, if the guy has one more kick at the can, the Rams are almost, if Stafford's gone, that makes more sense. Like people are talking Tennessee. Tennessee doesn't need an old quarterback, but they need a young guy.
Rodgers isn't going anywhere that they can't win.
Yes.
He's not going anywhere unless he has a chance to win.
You got it, buddy. And not that actually, and Stafford to Vikings makes the ultimate sense. Think about he's played in that division before. He knows those teams.
Personally, Cam, am I crazy saying this? I think Stafford to the 49ers makes them a Super Bowl champion.
Close. I'm not sure.
He's better than Purdy.
Let's just say this. It's Eagles and them. Right?
He's better than Purdy, correct?
In the NFC. Yes, he is better. Problem with Brock Purdy is he'll make some throws and then he'll do something. Stafford will not air the ball 5 years old. There's a reason Purdy got drafted in the
And can you imagine Stafford with that defense and CMC on offense and all those weapons? It would be disgusting.
San Francisco's got a lot of issues though. They got to sign some guys. Remember, they're getting long that's the whole thing about San Francisco. What do you do?
They had the advantage of the Purdy cheap contract, and they don't have that advantage anymore. But do you pay Purdy or do you trade for Stafford if you're going to pay a quarterback now?
I'd actually trade for Stafford and give it one more kick at the can because I'll tell you, he's old. All their best
and
players.
He's a leader, Cam. No offense to Purdy. Purdy's not a leader of men when I look at that guy. I'm not like, oh, yeah, I'd run through a wall for that guy.
He's more chill. And Stafford, even though he can get fired up, they're both very, I like Brock Purdy a lot too. And I think he's done a lot of really good things. But he got drafted 7th round out of Iowa State for a reason. There's flaws in his game. And he also had a very good team, and he still could. You put this guy on a team. Okay, let's just say this, and I'm not going to use the Geno Smith. Okay, I will use the Geno Smith example. Brock Purdy in Seattle with that offensive line would get murdered. It would actually be hard to watch. It would be like Darnold at the end of the year.
He might be more mobile than Geno Smith.
What?
Purdy might be more mobile.
No. The difference between Geno Smith is he's more of a snake and slippery. Purdy
you're
can
right.
move, but he also gets punished
He's
more.
just straight line.
He
He's
takes
straight line.
hits. He's a straight line guy. But Drew, you bring up a lot of really good points. The problem is, in the NFL offseason, we come up with these miraculous, what could have been, and what, like, all this stuff makes sense. And then we talk about this, and we talk about there's so many dominoes that have to fall.
Let's say Sam Darnold doesn't return to the Vikings. What predict Cam Stewart's prediction for where Sam Darnold plays football in 2025? I'll give you mine. Mine is the New York Giants. He's back in New York on the other team with Brian Daboll, and he's mentoring Shadir Sanders or whoever they end up taking.
It's a great pick, Drew. I'm not even going to deny that. The thing is, too, how far is no, I'm not going to. I was going to say Tennessee, but no, they need young guy. He can't help them get any. But I'm watching Will Levis and Rudolph.
I mean, he would make them a better football team, Cam.
But
Tennessee.
not good enough. Like, it's one of those things, Drew.
Well, he would be mentoring probably Ward because Tennessee's probably taking Ward top of the draft. So that's the same idea as the Giants.
You're right. Tennessee actually might take Hunter.
Yeah, which would be insane.
I don't know if it's that. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about our draft show. I think Hunter's the most overrated prospect I've seen in a long time. I think he's a bust. Yeah.
Okay.
Talented guy, talented kid, Cam, but just he's not elite at either side. And I'm like, well, you're not going to play on both sides in the NFL.
I think he is, but that's where we
look at the competition he played against.
Colorado they played some good teams.
Anytime he played a good team, though, Cam, he was like, he won the Heisman because he played a lot of snaps.
Kansas State, they play. Yeah, you're right. Colorado State's a dud. I get it. Who else do they play? They played Kansas. They're not too okay. They didn't play the upper echelon, but they still played teams that are competitive.
No, but I'm saying he wasn't even the best receiver or corner in his own conference. Never mind. And then now he's going to be a number one corner in the NFL. Like, I don't know. Cam,
what do you think about what? Well, okay, quickly. Because Gabe was on, we had Rick Saratella. He interviewed him on our show, and he brought up some good points. Shadir Sanders at this point of taping is over a 2-1 dog. You want Cam Ward over Sanders?
I think so.
I think Sanders though is being a little bit disrespected because Colorado had one of the worst. I'll just hear
Cam,
me out.
I think the sideshow with his dad and everything is making him drop.
Dion doesn't help anything.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, no, but you're right.
If you're first overall, do you want to be like, oh, I want to take this guy, and even though he said he doesn't want to play here, and his dad doesn't want him to be here, and yada yada, like you don't want to deal with that shit.
NFL coaches and staff hate people who rock the boat, even if they're right. If
he's the type of kid to come in and think he owns the place right off the bat. Like
he's actually been humbled a lot, Drew. I've been following this recently. He's trying to stay low, whereas Camp, if I'm him, I'm like Camp. Just look, If
I'm him, I'm cutting ties with my dad. Being, Dad, get the hell away from me for this entire draft process. Yeah, I'll talk to you after I'm drafted.
Cutting ties till after whatever. I'll handle the situation. Well, think about all the teams. Who needs a quarterback? Tennessee needs a quarterback. Cleveland needs a quarterback. Jets need a quarterback. Giants need a quarterback.
Cam, there's rumors Dion might go to the combine with him for his interviews. Like if I'm interviewing a quarterback prospect, I don't want your dad in the room with me. Get out of here.
Imagine you're playing a hockey game and my dad's in the dressing room while the coach is giving us
a
talk. You know what I am? Gone. That team's just like, this is the end. Like, I remember when guys, even dads, got too involved and they talked to him. Like, my dad used to stay in the stands and not say one fucking word other than, let's go team. And at the end
your
of the
dad
game,
wasn't one of those guys that pushed over the refs? Do you see that in the States?
Yeah, well, my dad is the total opposite. Like, Drew, I'm like loud and stuff. My dad is so chill. He's like kind of like you and even more chill. And you know what he does? This is what you did. You did this well. Move your feet here. Like, very simple, calm things. I go and I'll ask him.
He just wants you to have fun.
I'll ask him what I did right and wrong. Like, he never came out and go, hey, son, you played like shit. I used to see some of these guys on our team. Their dads are like, you're a piece of shit. You're going nowhere now after that game. I'm like, oh, my God. My dad has never done that in his life. No matter
Cam,
how bad
hockey parents can be the worst people in the world.
Hockey mothers can be the, like, I've seen a hockey sister in a tournament. We're in the finals. We got jobbed on a 5-minute call. Her brother was like the biggest psychopath on my team. I think he might have even played in the OHL. Great player. I got to check him out. Me and him were tight too. His sister though, walked up to a ref at the end of the game. Guy takes off his helmet. She goes up. She knew fucking karate. Drop kicked him, put him right up against the wall. And he's down. Like cops. Like she knocked out a referee after the game. And Drew, those were the good old days. My coach, good friends of mine, they even watched the podcast. Shout out to Darren and Craig. Their dad was our coach when I played for, we were the Royals back then. We had the same uniform as the Oilers, okay?
Yeah.
And we played in that shit arena, Chesswood Arena. We're playing a bunch of punk kids. We're murdering them. This kid fucking flipped out. We had a brawl, and he threw a skate at our coach, clipped him in the face with his glasses. He's bleeding.
Suspended for life. Suspended for life.
Like, here come the cops. You do that stuff now, you're in jail. Back then, it's like,
oh, yeah.
You're banned for like it's a whole. It was like that. Okay, we'll get to the Canada game later. Things were more like the first 9 seconds of the Canada USA game.
Cam, we had a game. We had a game when I was playing hockey when I was growing up. We were like 16. Cops called us because the goalie took his stick and swung it at the back of my guy's head when he wasn't looking. When he was screening him in front. Just straight broke his stick over his head. Yeah. Fight breaks out. One of the guys on my team flying kneed the goalie in the face after that.
Amazing.
And it was just cops got called. The refs left the ice. The refs didn't even want to break it up. They left.
Yeah, they were scared.
Like, okay.
That happened to me. Like I told you, we were beating Cambridge. This goalie came up to me. I score a goal. Next thing you know, my helmet's off, and this guy's blocker is repeatedly hitting my head off the ice. I could have died. And I get up. My team tried to help me. I was already dead. You know how hard those things are. I go up to my dad. I go up. I face plant as I'm trying to skate off the ice. I'm obviously concussed. And my dad's like, starting the car. And then I go out there. And then, next thing I go to the hospital. And my buddy's mom's the nurse. And his kid played for the Toronto Red Wings. And she goes, what the fuck happened to your face? I go, goalie. Like, they were actually investigating, like, putting this guy in jail. Because it was like straight. Crazy. You do that on the street, you're doing hard time. It's assault.
Oh,
I didn't see it coming. Like, I didn't even see it coming. Back of the head blocker, I'm down, party's over. Anyway, those were the good old days, Drew. Let's hope for a fun Canada game versus USA on Thursday.
All right, let's get to the Cam questions before we get into the Canada USA game, Cam. It's not too many this week. I got
very,
6.
very business-like today, Drew. It looks like you have a lot on your docket.
Yeah, we're just rolling in here, okay? First one from Jim. Cam says he goes to church. Oh, wait. Cam says, I go to church now and then. Tell Cam funerals don't count. That's what he said to you.
You know what? Who said that?
Jim.
Jim, you got me. I when my mom was around, God rest her soul, I used to go to church with her a couple times because she made me. And I can't lie, the last time. And I used to try to leave because the Hawaii Bowl was always on Christmas Eve. But you're right, Jim. You know what, Jim? You got me. I have gone to other people's church before, but it's been a while, Drew. Let's just.
I'm in the same where we want to get our kid baptized. I'm just like, I'm too lazy to go to church. So can't we just tell him to
Sunday
do it?
too. It's my one day where I can kind of just sleep in and stuff. Anyway, Sorry, Jim.
It's too long. I'm sorry. Shorten it. Make it 15 minutes.
That's the thing.
It's 1 hour nonsense.
Yes, it's like Goldfish. Get some kids up there doing a play for 15 minutes, one hymn, and we're out the door. Then we'll start thinking about church.
Like, why does it have to be an hour? It's just
some
a money
of them are
grab.
2 hours.
I know.
It's not going there.
This one's from Josh. Cam, you finally admitted to having 4 shots of vodka in your coffee, and I appreciate it. How is your stomach not cooked from all those cups?
It is cooked. As I stand here today taping this show, I'm going to the hospital for them to check my bladder. So obviously all the things that I've ever done, they're going to stick a camera up there. So wish me luck, guys. I'm praying that I can continue to work with Drew. I don't want to
Good luck and thoughts for Cam in the comments. That's for sure.
Thanks.
Next one from...
It's because of a lot of other stuff rather than having a couple drinks. But yeah, let's party.
Next one from Miguel. Cam, when you lived in Yellowknife, did you ever drive on the Delta Ice Road?
Yes, I did.
And bonus, any go-to food spots up there?
Wow. Who are you, Miguel? Where's he from?
It doesn't say. His name's Stone Miguel.
Okay, Miguel, first of all, this is the most interesting one we got. The fact that you know about the ice roads up there makes me very impressed.
Yeah, they have the chains on the tires up there, right? Because they don't have the...
And they also have plugs. So if you leave your car overnight and don't plug it in, the thing's not starting if you have a regular car.
The battery's just done.
Oh, done. Drew, sometimes mine is 50. Anyway, that's just Yellowknife. You don't even go to the high Arctic. I don't know what kind of triple goose feathers.
So it's probably terrifying to drive on those roads.
I've done it before. Yeah, and you have to be, you don't do it with some guy. Hey, man, I want to go over there. You do it with experienced guys who drive truck for a living. Remember, up in Yellowknife, you have to haul groceries in on an ice road sometimes, right? Like milk, eggs, all that stuff. The government subsidizes some things because some people in the outlying communities don't have enough money. But if you buy let's just say the fun stuff, as I said.
So how much for bottle? Like a $40 bottle of whiskey here?
Game. Can of Coke back then, that was 97, $3.
One can?
1997. That's when I went up north. That was $3 for a can of Pepsi or Coke.
How much were you making an hour?
Not very much.
So you weren't able to buy the fun stuff.
I get it. When my people visited me, they'd ship it in. People ship in drugs and stuff. I'd get Coca-Colas and smokes and all because I used to smoke back then. Smoke. You know what your carton of smoke was back then? This is 1997. I think there were 70 or 80.
$40. What?
Yeah. They used to have this beer called Iron Horse. It's from Newfoundland. A case of it was $55 back then.
So it was probably $25 back here.
We had reporters in dry communities where we go to visit them and like go on like a little like those otter flights like Buffalo Airlines and stuff.
Oh yeah.
We'd have hockey bags filled with all the things that they needed for before the next time we come. Vodka, this like all the necessities that cost like. And some of these communities are called dry communities. They don't even have liquor stores, bro.
So you can only get it if it's flown in.
Yes, and no
wow.
people. And
you could make a killing being like a booze runner.
Yeah, bootlegger up there. If you're a good bootlegger, for sure. But the thing is, it's not like Toronto. Like everyone knows you're Slimy Jim. Like you know what I mean. Like there's not the population's not big enough. They can probably figure out who's doing it, but they'll let a blind eye. Like they'll let it go for people that work in those communities. If you're working for a newspaper or such. But yeah, let me tell you something, Drew. Like one of the 5 best years of my life. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like,
did you ever eat seal and all that shit?
Yes, I did. I'll tell you. You know what? We don't have enough time for this show. We'll do. Let's save the material. I've ate seal with the chief up in the north, almost like it's called Pelly Bay. Take a look at it on a map. And I'm going to tell you one more thing.
Go to Food Stop.
Sunny D, $36 a bottle back then. It's $1.99 here.
What? Why?
Well, the problem is that a lot of the people got hooked on sugar. That was their drugs. Instead of doing marijuana and Coke or anything else, the thing is the kids there, they all had now I have diabetes. They got hooked on sugar because that was their one little
Kool-Aid packets and shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. See,
all right, go to food spots in Yellowknife, Cam. Any restaurants?
The Wildcat Cafe, best food ever. It's in the middle of nowhere too. And there's also another restaurant. I think they changed the name of it. You fly in with a plane, like on a float plane, and you dock it and walk in. It is actually in the summer. It is one of the most beautiful places. But one tip: the size of mosquitoes are the size of my head. We were golfing with former Prime Minister Jean Chrétien. Oh my God. He's in
Mr.
a net.
Can't
You have to wear a net while you play golf, and your whole body is covered in. You go to the woods for a ball. I go, don't go in there. Don't. Next thing you know, you're coming out. It's almost
that's like deep woods. Like that. Like you need them.
Yeah, you go. People are like, oh, my cottage. Oh, I got a few bucks. Oh, like your whole body's covered. It's like going into a pond with leeches. Like there's a million of them on you. Anyway, but I'll tell you something about Yellowknife. Gorgeous in the summer. Beautiful spot.
All right, next one from Mike. Question for both of you. Have you ever worked a telemarketing job?
Yes.
It's so incredibly dehumanizing.
You are correct. I used to work for my buddy's dad. We sold light bulbs to arcades. It was a fucking shit show.
Light bulbs to arcades?
Yeah, basically, I was like on the phone all day peddling. If he'd sold a certain thing, we'd get a bottle of Crown Royal. It was the shittiest job. Like, honestly, and it's so hard to get out of it. Like, when people are like, no. And one time, you'll catch a fish, and you almost get too happy because nobody wants to get on your line. So you probably get too excited. I did it when I was younger. Telemarketing sucks. But then again, working in a kitchen sucks too.
I've never done the door-to-door telemarketing stuff outside of delivering newspapers because I just can't do it. I get so annoyed by them that I'm like, I cannot be those people.
I've done telemarketing. I've sold products like Amway for a chick that I dated in high school. I did newspapers. Let's just say, Drew, I've done a lot of jobs except for ones that take skill.
You were the door-to-door weed guy, weren't you? Wasn't that your thing?
It's a story for another day. But yeah, I used to drive weed to people with medicinal cancer problems.
All right, last one from FS Lee.
Yes.
With USA Canada coming up on Thursday, Cam, give us some America versus Canada food takes. What does each country do better than the other?
Wings, buffalo better than Canada. Canada, back bacon better than their ham.
Well, that's not fair. They don't have it.
Get it. What do we do better than them? We have salt and vinegar chips. They don't. I know you hate them. I think they're starting to get them now. What other things do we do better than them?
Okay, who's got a better burger?
They do.
Yeah,
in the beef regions of Texas and
yes, I will say, Cam, barbecue. French fries though are way better in Canada.
Oh, way better. French fries. Oh, great call by you, Drew. See, now I need you to help me answer it. French fries are better, but know what they do? Crush us in barbecue.
Oh, not even close. Yeah, barbecue in the States way better, but French fries, I don't care what you guys say. It's like they don't salt them. I don't know what they don't do. You go to like McDick's in the States. I'm just like, what are
soggy.
these fries?
They don't cook them properly. They understand it needs to be crisp. It needs to have fresh oil. There's so many other things. What else do we do better than them?
Chicken nuggets we do better too because we have white meat, not the garbage.
We do. We do. You know what? I'd hate to say it. Like a lot of our produce, I think, is better.
It's probably all the same from the same places.
That's my experience. But yeah. That's good. I don't know. No, I got to think about this.
What about Canadian whiskey versus American whiskey?
Oh, Canadian whiskey all day.
Really?
He crushes it. Our booze is actually way better than their booze. Our beer's
I like American beer better than Canadian beer. I will say that.
Okay, now. And is this show sponsored?
No.
Okay, good, because I feel like going.
What Canadian beers are good? Like, they're all shit.
Okay, Drew, do I want to, like, do I really want to go to the Bellagio and drink toilet water? Like, their beer has no taste. It tastes like
I don't know.
shit.
I'll take a Coors Light over Molson Canadian any day of the week.
For fuck's sakes. Anyway, I love you, man. What else do we do? What I'm trying to.
Yingling, Cam? Yingling is a top tier beer. I'll give you that. I love Yingling.
They do no, it's regional though. Like Boston does good seafood, but like East Coast here does it. Like, what do we do better? Know what they actually? You know what? I will say this finally, and I'll give America one thing. When I watch diners, drives, and all that stuff,
we do
Guy
coffee
Fieri,
better.
We do great call because it's more European. But then what they do, everything else like diner food and like real.
Yeah,
our
they
diners suck.
Breakfast.
I'm going in there for $45. You go down to the States in Florida, you can get an $8 breakfast. It'll blow your mind and like it'll like literally go.
Cam,
wow.
I would kill for a Waffle House in Canada.
So would
I love going to Waffle House, getting a big waffle with some bacon and stuff. Like, it's so good.
I saw a guy get a knifed in a Waffle House, but it's a great. Their food rocks.
Oh yeah, I love Waffle House.
We have Denny's here. Denny's doesn't even hold
Denny's sucks.
Denny's does. See, we agree finally, Drew. Like the Yorkshire puddings. Denny's doesn't even fucking hold a candle to Waffle House.
No.
There's another one too. IHOP crushes fucking Denny's too.
IHOP's kind of the same.
It's it's more corporate, but Waffle House is gold. IHOP would be silver, and Denny's would be bronze in our hierarchy of those three. And it's not even debatable.
I wouldn't even put Denny's on the board. Denny's is so bad.
We'll get other ones too. There's other.
Give me giggling tomatoes or something like that.
I told you next time you got to go to Bojangles Chicken and Biscuits. That's a story for another day.
All right, Cam. Let's get into Canada versus USA, the hockey game of the year. Hockey game, probably the best hockey game of the last 10 years, Cam, because we haven't had best on best since 2016. Canada, USA, even money line. First off, before we get into our props and stuff, I got some shot parlays. I got some same game parlays for everybody. I got Nova Scotia specials. Like, you'll see them running at us.
I love it. You Nova Scotia specials.
Oh yeah, Cam. I already got $200 invested in props for this game.
I'm gonna do more if you send me yours. I've only bet the game, and I have a future, so I'm sitting pretty.
So first off, Cam, who is winning this hockey game? Canada or the USA?
I like Canada. I like the fact that they've lost the first game in Montreal. I think booing the national anthem out of the start, it's very important for Canada to jump all over the Americans. People talk about Binnington. We talked about it on our show last night. Does he let in shit goals? Yes. But does he make exceptional saves? Yes. Now you got Cale Makar back. Big difference.
Which is huge.
But a shout out to Harley, who played his ass off as well.
Cam, I thought Harley should have been in last game too.
I agree.
And take Sanheim out.
Thank you, Drew. Like me and you are doing shows.
Harley was their best player in the game against USA.
You're fucking right, he was. Like, that's the thing, dude. Drew, you know hockey, and I'm watching this stuff. People go, "Oh, Thomas Hart's just filling it now. Take him out." How do you take that guy out? He played a perfect game.
Yeah,
I'm loving.
Like, I know he made the bad change, but the bad change because Crosby turned it over.
That's on every. That's a moot point.
He didn't expect Sidney Crosby to turn it over. Like, thanks. I wouldn't either. Yeah.
Thank you. Holy. Jesus.
No, I thought he was unbelievable. The fact he's not playing is
Sanheim
prime.
gets so much. Like, Sanheim used to be like a 4th, 5th defenseman on the Flyers, for God's sakes. Anyway, I like the kid. He's good, but I like Harley's a better player than Sanheim, in my opinion.
Cam, I think this game is going to be a blowout for one of the sides. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's going to be 3-2 in overtime." I think
you're feeling like a Super Bowl vibe.
If USA scores early against Binnington, I think that the momentum, it's going to be like 6-1 USA. If Canada gets too early, it's done. It's going to be 7-1 Canada. So I'm going to go Canada. I'm going to be Homer here. I think that's the rebound with Cale Makar back in the lineup. I'm going to go 5-2 Canada.
4-2 Canada on our show.
4-2, 25-1, correct score, bet Cam.
Well, why don't we play them both? 4-2, 5-2.
There you go. 30-1 for 5-2. All right, Cam. My shot props.
Makar
First
over
one.
2. I can tell you, Makar over 2.5.
Correct. He's one of them. So here's my points for Team Canada, my points to the USA. So Braden Point to get 1 point, plus 130. McDavid, 2 points, plus 240. Crosby for 1 point, minus 130. My Nova Scotian parlay, Cam, McKinnon to get 2 and Crosby to get 2. If that line scores 2 goals, they're both going to be assisting on each other's goals. Both of them to get 2 points, Cam, plus 1,200.
I'm interested. You
got
any more?
Yep, USA. Jack Eichel and Zach Werenski.
Can I guess for USA? I bet you got Gensel.
For shots?
Yeah.
Yes, Gensel.
I bet you got Eichel for a point.
For a point, yeah, not shots.
I bet you got Larkin for a point?
Nope.
Okay, that would have been my sleeper. Continue.
Okay, so Eichel and Werenski both get a point. They both have a point in every USA game so far, plus 220 for them both to get a point. Matthew Tkachuk, 3 shots on goal. Jack Hughes, 3 shots on goal, plus Zach Werenski to get a point, plus 650. This one right here is 25-1. So it's Eichel 1 point, Gensel 1 point, Werenski 1 point, so 3 Americans, and then McDavid, Crosby, McKinnon 1 point, 25-1. I don't think that's crazy. They each got to get 1 point. And then my big one, 50-1, my shot parlay, which I've already put $20 on. I'm stupid, but whatever. Makar 3 shots, McKinnon 3 shots, McDavid 3 shots, and then Matthew Tkachuk 3 shots, Jack Hughes 3 shots, Jake Gensel 3 shots. 3 Americans, 3 Canadians, 50-1.
I love it. I will say one thing about shots. I thought McKinnon had 4 and they had a boost and they only gave him 3 last game. I don't like the way they do shots.
That's why I'm doing 3, not 4.
Yeah.
But he's had 6 and 3, and he's going to shoot the puck.
That last game, McKinnon. I know he had 4. They didn't credit him for a shot.
When I'm watching the shot tracker, it was like, it's 22-20, and all of a sudden, now Canada went down to 18 shots. And they just had 22. Why are they 18 now?
It's bullshit. If you play shots, like you have to do the low hanging fruit. Nothing over 3.
I saw a guy, Cam. He clipped. Who was it? I think it was Pacioretty was on Vegas a couple years ago. His shot prop was 3.5, and he clipped all 4 shots on goal he had, like against the goalie. And sent it to FanDuel, and FanDuel was like, "Oh well, the NHL stats had him listed as 3, not 4." It's like I have video footage of his 4 shots.
That's the thing. The guy would win in a court of law. The problem is that's why you don't play things like that, because it's random and arbitrary. Like they'll do what they want to do with it. It's a problem. I can give them video evidence of some guy killing. Like that's the whole thing, Drew. It's already set in stone. You have to play the 1.5s and 2.5s max. I don't do anything over 3.5. Like I don't want to deal with that.
No, that's why 3 is the most I'll cap in shots. Unless I'm doing a ladder, for game 1, I did a ladder on McKinnon 3, 4, 5, 6. And he actually hit 6 shots in overtime, which was great. But yeah, those are my shot parlays. And then you have Cam, the O Canada parlay. McDavid 1 point, Makar 1 point, McKinnon 1 point, and then 3 shots on goal for each of them. 35-1. I love it. I'm just doing some crazy shit.
Send them all my way, because you know what I like to do? We like to ride each other's picks. Like last week in golf, I'm sitting there losing it because my guy goes bogey.
Please tell me you had Aberg.
I did. And you know what? I'm like, another Sunday.
Cam, the guy in second, what was his name?
Maverick McNeely.
Yeah, so I was like, I said to Kaylin, I was like, I bet you can bet on McNeely.
I almost did. My girlfriend had Dangerous Denny McCarthy, and we always have McNeely. But finally, I caught a break for and Drew, that's why I'm starting to think like things might be turning around.
I thought he was going to blow it. I'm not going to lie.
Maverick McNeely had a shot that would have gone probably in the rough, but it hit a spectator and gave him a worse lie in the rough. And then he bogeyed that, and then Aberg went bam, bam, bam. The thing about Aberg, though, when he hit it deep, I'm like, playoff. I was like, and that's the whole thing. I'm like hit the hedge button, and I watch the putt. I go, Tiger Woods has hit that putt a couple times. I know exactly what that putt does. He nutted it. 30-1, too. A lot of guys had him at 22. I had a bet boost at 30. So, Drew, we're back in business. This week in Mexico, I'm not going to give you 100 picks. I got top 10s, 20s, everything else, guys. These are the guys I'm playing to win. What are me and Drew going to do if Canada wins and he hits all of his props? Jaggers. Steven Jaeger, 28-1 with Jaeger bomb. What does Drew like to do when the kids are on fire and throwing blocks and balls at him? Take a nap. Jake, afternoon nap, 38-1. Matt Wallace at 55. And Drew doesn't really like movies too much. I'm not sure about comic books, but Theor Bjornsson, his name is Michael Theor Bjornsson. He went to Stanford, 60-1. Those are the guys. And another tip I got, Michael Kim, one of the hottest players on tour at 30. So I have a 5-pack for you, Drew. Already.
I love movies and comics, Cam. What do you think of Thorbjorn Olesen, 50-1?
I'll tell. Oh God, okay. Thorbjorn Olesen, I bet him before, and I remember when we were working together. Before I did that job, remember I was doing fantasy jockey shit.
Yeah,
I was away because I was only in a couple days a week when I used to take your lunch and stuff, and I had something else to do. I forgot. He won a bet that I only had $2 in my account at 250-1.
Amazing.
Oh no, Thorbjorn Olesen is a good. But the problem is, some of these European guys. I follow golf just quickly because a lot of people don't. I'll just say this: they haven't played enough PGA Tour events. I think the guys who have are the Højgaards, Rasmus and his brother. Those are the guys that play every week now on the PGA Tour. He's the second favorite behind Ashke Bhatia. I have him for a top 10 at Rasmus Højgaard, top 10 plus 220. That's what I have.
I will say, Cam, the only bet I'm going to give people, first round leader Charlie Hoffman, the king of leading first rounds, 100-1. I love
that bet. I got first round leader. I'll give you 3. Big Bo Hostler.
You love Bo Hostler.
I love him in the first round till Sunday rolls around. Harry Hall at 40 and Moops, but not Ryan. Timur, Taylor Moore, 45 to 1. But you know what? Charlie Hoffman, I did a list of rankings. He was number 8 on my rankings, and I bet 5 to 7 guys.
He loves doing well in the first round and then blowing it. That's Charlie Hoffman special.
Won me 2 dimes. I remember I had him before. It was like 120 to lead the Masters after the first round. I was in Baltimore, and we watched him. He started to gag. He had a huge lead, and then he hit a putt at the end. I'm like, yeah, we're a recipe. Like, what the hell's wrong with this psycho? I'm like, yeah, Charlie Hoffman. You're right, Drew. He is the ultimate Thursday and Friday warrior, Charlie Hoffman. He is Mr. Weekday. When the weekend rolls around, he doesn't like weekends.
And he doesn't even stick in the top 10 either. It's like, boo! Like he goes way down.
I had a guy in second place on Sunday. He finished like T38. The guy shot like a 7.
Isn't that crazy?
Like, people don't understand. Like, nothing is guaranteed in this sport. It'll drive you nuts. But good picks, Drew. We'll have more golf picks. Like for the Masters and stuff, we'll really rip it up. We'll have props. We'll have Best by Country. We'll do like a whole fun show.
Well, that does it for this week on the Drew and Stu Podcast, Cam. I'm Drew Livingstone. That's Cam Stewart. Please click like. Please click subscribe. Please rate and review on all audio platforms. We will see you next week. We're going to do 1 episode weekly now after football season. Might get to 2 around hockey playoffs, March Madness, any big events. Maybe the draft. We'll do a little stream or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But that does it for this week, Cam. Any lasting words? Everyone, great thoughts in the comments. Wish Cam well for his procedure today. Hopefully everything goes well, Cam.
I hope so too.
Wishing you nothing but the best. So hopefully all these good vibes towards you makes everything go well. And they just go, oh, Cam, listen. You got to quit drinking alcohol. Maybe what if that was the recipe?
This is for a hot tub time machine. You could have told me that 35 years ago. But anyway, Drew, the point being is everything's going to be okay. I miss you, buddy. But yeah, we're going to do this stuff once a week, and hopefully we'll give you some winners. And guys, one final parting word. We love America. They love us. Let's not this global bullshit going on, ruining what's going on. Like some of these people are taking this hockey shit. It's a fucking hockey game. It's a big hockey game, but let's just keep everything in perspective here. Let's win some money. Go Canada. And, but that's the difference. If America wins, I'll be like, good on America. Hey, and you know what? One thing, finally, we talk about this on other shows. This could be the catalyst. If Hellebuck stands on his head and America wins, this could be the turning point for the Winnipeg Jets getting over their crazy shit in the playoffs. Because you know what? Drew, confidence breeds great performance.
You know what Hellebuck does though, Cam? He chokes in big moments. So
kind of like Jake Ottinger does for Dallas.
Yep. And it doesn't matter if Quinn Hughes plays or not. I don't care if they fake a sickness.
He's not playing. That's another thing. Can I make a bet on that, please? Can I bet on it?
Quinn Hughes, Cam, even if he plays, he's not very good at defense. It's a fair warning.
I'm just saying, the guy's been out for, what was it? What was his last game? Gabe was saying New
He was
Year's?
out 3 weeks ago. He's been out for 3 weeks.
He's not. I'd like a bet. Will he play? No. And I would lay juice.
Yeah, juice. I would too. All right, that does it, everyone. Please click like, click subscribe, comments below. Wish Cam well, and we will see you next week. Thanks, everyone.
This has been Drew and Stu. Follow Drew at Producer Drew and Cam at Cam Stewart Live. May the winners be yours and all of the best bets hit.